Oral questions by members.
Coquitlam-Millardville.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, for the sake of clarity, I think we should recap what we know about the problems at the Auditor General for Local Government. First, they've spent $5.2 million and produced one single audit. Second, if everything goes perfectly well with their new 18-month plan, they will complete the 17 remaining audits that they promised 2 years ago by August 2016 at a cost of $7.8 million. But there's a catch. That doesn't include the cost of the Public Service Agency Review. It doesn't include the cost of the Workplace Environment Review. It doesn't include the cost of the Audit Council's Planned Organization Review. And it doesn't include the cost of the 2 teams of lawyers who are figuring out just who's in charge. And it also, Honourable Speaker, doesn't include the cost to local governments who've had to deal with this confusing office. So to the Minister, can she tell the House exactly how much the AGLG is costing taxpayers?
Minister.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'm advised today that the Audit Council has issued a statement expressing the interest in initiating an expert review of the AGLG. So if we were to go through, we met with the Audit Council and we identified an opportunity for us to work collaboratively together to ensure that the completion of the rest of the audits would be performed. Honourable Speaker, I think it's also really important, especially since the member opposite has local government experience, the importance of the Auditor General for Local Government. So again, let us recap some of the work that is being done. It is unfair to suggest that only one report has been done. There's been a prospective series and that they're currently working on the rest of the 17 reports. As a City Councillor, and as the member opposite as well understands, that for a smaller municipality, often we benefit from sharing best tools and best practices on projects, such as operational matters, such as water treatment or procurement practices. This is the exact type of work that the Auditor General for Local Government is doing, and we look forward to continuing to work with them.
Member for Coquitlam-Millardville on a supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. So if I heard correctly, we have yet another review added to this whole mess. Wow. This is ridiculous. This minister insists that it sounds like that things are getting sorted out, but it's really hard for taxpayers to take her at her word. The organization is barely 2 years old, and they've already lawyered up. So to the minister, can she explain why on earth the AGLG and the Audit Council, both of which report to her, would need to hire lawyers to figure out who's in charge?
Minister, Community, Sport and Cultural Development.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. And to the member opposite, as we've canvassed this topic on multiple occasions, this falls under the Auditor General for Local Government Act. And under Section 19 of the Auditor General for Local Government Act, it provides that the Audit Council has the responsibility for the review and monitoring of the performance of the AGLG. And given that one audit had been completed and that we are working towards the achievement of the completion of them, we sat down with the Audit Council and we've identified a process to ensure that the rest of the audits would be reviewed. The AGLG has now indicated, Honourable Speaker, that she is supportive of such a review, and we look forward to the work proceeding.
Coquitlam-Millardville on a further supplemental.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So the only thing we can say for certain is that this minister is not in charge and refuses to be accountable. She won't take responsibility for the waste of $5.2 million in taxpayer funds, and she won't take responsibility for the AGLG's growing legal bills. So to the minister, what does she have to say to local governments who've been running in circles to accommodate repeated, confusing, and often conflicting requests from the AGLG, only to discover that this whole thing is wasted effort because the AGLG's office is in such disarray?
Community, Sport and Cultural Development.
Thank Thank you, Honourable Speaker. And this is a unique mandate. It's a unique piece of legislation and a new position for all of Canada. And it's required to ensure, Honourable Speaker, that we have a functional independence of the role is maintained during the process that we've talked about. And the parameters of this review must there be informed by legal advice. But, Honourable Speaker, to the member opposite, I have a quote here from the Prince George Citizen dated on February 10th from the President of the Union of British Columbia Municipalities, acknowledging that the office has a complex job. Contributions to improving our practices and services isn't going to be measured by the number of reports produced, but rather the quality of the reports, said Dhaliwal. And if that takes time, then so be it.
Member for Kootenay West.
Well, Honourable Speaker, it's so unique. It's probably the first time this government's paid $5.2 million for a single audit. It's clear that this minister is not on top of her file, and worse still, she's letting down the very people she's supposed to be helping. Yesterday, the minister claimed the Public Service Agency was addressing the human resource issues at the AGLG. But, Honourable Speaker, the PSA completed its staff interviews in December, and the staff at the AGLG are still waiting for someone, anyone, to fix these problems so they can get on with their jobs. To the minister, what does she have to say to the staff at the AGLG who are looking for someone to show some leadership on this file?
Minister for Community, Sport and Cultural Development.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. As to, again, we've been disappointed with the office that has not delivered the performance on the audits on the original time. We've already expressed that disappointment. Honourable Speaker, we met with the Audit Council, who met with the Auditor General of local government as per the legislation. The Auditor General for local government requested that a workplace survey be completed. That workplace survey has been completed. 5 recommendations were identified, and the Auditor General for local government intends on implementing those recommendations.
Member for Kootenay West on a supplemental.
Honourable Speaker, yesterday this minister accused us of attacking public servants, when in fact it is this minister who has all but abandoned the staff at the AGLG. So again, what is this minister going to do to resolve these serious problems and stop the waste and dysfunction at the AGLG?
Minister of Community, Sport and Cultural Development.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Again, we are working with the Auditor General for Local Government's Audit Council to to implement the recommendations that were identified in the workplace survey. We also intend to work with the Audit Council on ensuring that the implementation of the revised plan to ensure that the audits be completed. But, Honourable Speaker, if it was up to the members opposite, there would never be a single audit ever performed.
Here, here.